Hey everybody, welcome back to Fantasy Theory. In this video, we got a big topic that I wanted to discuss, and it has to do with Deadpool and Wolverine. As we know, we're in July now, which is Deadpool and Wolverine month. Deadpool and Wolverine officially comes out on July 26th, and the day of me recording this is July 5th. It'll probably come out the same day. I have some burning questions that I need answered, some more than others, but we're going to go through 10 of the biggest questions Deadpool and Wolverine will answer once it comes out. So, let me know if you have any questions down below, what you think could potentially happen in the movie or what questions you want answered in the movie, because this movie is going to be one of the biggest things Marvel has ever done. I mean, this is as big as Spider-Man No Way Home, as big as I would say as Endgame. It's supposed to match the level of fight choreography and storyline as like the Winter Soldier and the Captain America movies. I mean, it has a little bit of everything. Cameos, good story. There's a lot I want answered in this movie, and I think we're going to get most of these answers. But right now, we're going to go through the 10 major questions we may have as fans in Deadpool and Wolverine. Let me know if you're going to see this movie as well. Let's jump right into the video with question number 1. And the main question I think that a lot of us are wondering right now, we probably have the answer to it already, but the main question, what is the plot? What is the plot going to be like? And I feel like a lot of us kind of already know the answer. It seems like it's going to be a buddy cop road trip movie between Deadpool and Wolverine. But the question is, it leads into other questions as well. But what will be the main goal for Deadpool and Wolverine? Specifically Deadpool, because it seems like Deadpool in this movie will be recruiting Wolverine to help him. But from the trailers, it seems like something is going on with Deadpool's universe, but it seems like something's a little off in this universe. He may be in a different universe, but something is wrong with it, why he's calling himself Marvel Jesus, why he's being recruited by the TVA. The rumors were that he was some car salesman in like a midlife crisis, and he's being recruited by the TVA to do something. So, what is really the plot of this? And we'll obviously get that answer. That's a definite answer of the plot. I mean, if it doesn't answer that question, the movie I don't think will be good. But number 2, what answers will it give us about the sacred timeline? Will Deadpool and Wolverine join the sacred timeline? Will they save the sacred timeline? Is Earth 616 the sacred timeline? What is really going on at this point? Is Loki at this point kind of the leader again, or what? But you're going to notice in a lot of these questions that a lot of these questions lead into other questions. So they're like subsidiaries of each thing. But what is the sacred timeline at this point in Deadpool and Wolverine? Number 3, a big question we've all been asking for years. Who is the MCU Wolverine? Now, I'm going to do a little spoilers and potential spoilers and mostly leaks. So if you don't want to hear anything that I've heard about it, I would click off now or skip a little later on in the video. But the potential MCU Wolverine, a lot of people have speculated to be Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. And, I think everybody wants to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He's been the only Wolverine, and he's done an incredible job as Wolverine. So the question is, who will be the MCU Wolverine moving forward? Will this Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine continue on in the MCU with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool? Will we get a new character like, a Henry Cavill as Wolverine? A Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine? Who will be the MCU Wolverine? And I have a feeling that this will answer that question. Question number 4, the question that leads from who is the MCU Wolverine. What happened to this Wolverine's world, and which timeline is he from? Now, I've seen a lot of theories that this Wolverine, like I said before, will be the MCU Wolverine, but also that he was sent to the MCU because he failed his world. The question is, though, what happened to his world? In the trailer, we kind of see him walk by these like almost huge monuments. They could be like gravestones for what we believe to be fallen X-Men, the X-Men that he couldn't save, and he was the only one probably to survive in his universe. So again, what happened to his universe? What caused him to fail his universe? Why does this Wolverine need redemption all of a sudden after this? The Wolverine we know, he always came out on top. He always was ahead. Even the Hugh Jackman Wolverine, and even, you could say the X-Men 97 Wolverine, even though, but spoiler alerts for X-Men 97, Wolverine at the end is injured, but he always kind of makes his way back. And, what will be the next steps for him? Question number 5. How will mutants be introduced into the MCU? How will they come into the MCU? I think it's no secret that this movie is going to do a lot with the X-Men timeline and what they will do with mutants. The MCU has kind of stayed away from mutants because of the whole Fox thing, that they couldn't use mutants until eventually Disney purchased Fox, so now they can use mutants. But the question is, how will they introduce mutants into the MCU? I mean, we went so long without mutants. Will they just trickle them in one by one? Will they just throw them all in? Will they be there the whole time and they were like in secrets? Will this set up a big thing that will be in a question later on? How will mutants come into the MCU? I think that will answer this question with Deadpool and Wolverine being in this. I think it will answer that. This leads into question number 6. How does this set up Avengers 5 and Secret Wars? So Avengers 5 was a heavy rumor, and if you didn't know, Avengers 5 was supposed to be Avengers the Kang Dynasty, but after the whole Jonathan Majors situation, they kind of shifted away from that, and now it's kind of up in the air what that title will be. People have been speculating that we could see the Avengers versus the X-Men, and I believe this goes back to the question we just had before, question number 5. How will they introduce the X-Men into the MCU? This could be a perfect way to say maybe that they were always around during the MCU timeline and now they're just showing themselves, or maybe they're coming from another universe, maybe Deadpool, maybe in the Deadpool and Wolverine universe, that universe is doomed and they come from there. Maybe Wolverine had something wrong in his timeline where actually they did live, a few of them. There's a lot of questions. I mean, Miss Marvel did set up mutants to become a thing in the MCU, as I think she is a mutant now, but she wasn't originally in her comic accurate form, but that's besides the point. That's a question we might get answered. How will this set it up? Because we know that Kevin Feige also said he may want to include Deadpool and Wolverine in Avengers 5 and not just Secret Wars. Again, another spoiler was to have Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man all as the leads in Secret Wars, but I think we could get them earlier. Let's go on to question number 7. Who is Cassandra Nova? Cassandra Nova, the villain of the movie. What is her main purpose in this storyline? Will she be a one-off villain? What is her motivations? Why is she trying to take them down? What has she been doing up until this point? Could her and potentially Wolverine have some backstory? I do have some backstory on her on a previous video that I'll try to link in maybe the comments or something, but it kind of talks about who is Cassandra Nova, so if you want a little backstory on her before seeing Deadpool and Wolverine, I would check that video out, but I believe we'll get a lot of that answered in the movie. I feel like we have to get that at least answered in the movie, who is the villain, and, Cassandra Nova being the villain. Question number 8, I feel like it's pretty much a layup. How does the Void work? I mean, we've kind of gotten the answer in Loki of how the Void works, but it seems like some things may be a little less clear after some time now in Deadpool and Wolverine, so it's interesting, what is the Void? We kind of got, again, what the answer was in Loki, but I think they'll further explain the Void in this, because I think a majority of the movie will take place in the Void. I mean, a majority of what we've seen in the trailer has been in the Void, and I've seen people that are like, about it just being in the Void, but I think it'll be pretty good. 2 more questions. Number 9, what is the TVA? Yes, we know what the TVA is, but is this a different TVA, maybe I should say? Because the TVA we see at the end of Loki, they were pretty much the good guys. In the beginning, they were like kind of the bad guys, and at the end, they became the good guys. But now these TVA agents, we see Deadpool fighting at a point in, that forest. So what is this? I've heard there's been different brands of the TVA now at this point that are, some are good, some are bad. What is the division here? I mean, Deadpool is also working with that new TVA agent. I forget his name. I'm sorry. So is this what's going on here? What is this TVA doing at this point? Is this a different TVA, like I said, or is this the same TVA and they're just confused about Deadpool? A lot of questions there that we have to get answered. I think they'll answer that question because that's a huge question that we need answered. And the biggest question number 10, and I saved it for last because it's huge, and I think everybody's wondering it. The biggest question: what are the cameos? Who is going to be in this movie? I mean, I've made videos in the past about the potential rumored, the leaks, the confirmed people from each movie that will be in Deadpool and Wolverine. But the more and more we get closer to the movie, the more people are becoming less a part of the movie, and the more people are becoming more confirmed. I mean, spoiler alert for this, and I'll give you a second to click off if you haven't already, if you don't want to be spoiled for which cameos will be in Deadpool and Wolverine. I think there's going to be over 40 cameos, and a majority of them are going to be from the Fox X-Men. We're going to have Cyclops and Storm, and we know from the trailers that we've seen Sabretooth, and that was in the leaks, that Sabretooth, but we're also going to see the Deadpool Corps, and potentially see the Patch Wolverine, and maybe Daniel Radcliffe, like I said before, or Henry Cavill as Wolverine. I mean, there's so many cameos. The biggest one that we're hearing now, one of the biggest ones at least that we're hearing now, besides Robert Downey Jr. as a superior Iron Man, which has been a rumor since Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The rumor I'm hearing now is the Hulk. We don't know if it's Mark Ruffalo's Hulk or another Hulk, but we could see the potential Wolverine versus the Hulk showdown. So the question again, what are the cameos? So quick thing that we're going to go dive now, just just the 10 questions in super fast order. Number 1, what will the main plot be? Number 2, what is the sacred timeline? Number 3, who is the new MCU Wolverine? Number 4, what happened to this Wolverine's world and the timeline he is from? Number 5, how will mutants be introduced into the MCU? Number 6, how does this set up Avengers 5 and Secret Wars? Number 7, who is Cassandra Nova? Number 8, how does the Void work? Number 9, is this a different TVA? And number 10, who is the cameos for the movie? I feel like those are the 10 burning questions that we have, and I could have missed them because this is me just thinking out loud at this point. There's no script to this video or anything, but you let me know if you have any questions for this movie, and maybe I'll make a follow-up video to see, like, you know, another 10 questions that fans want answered in Deadpool and Wolverine. I am so excited for this movie. I think it's going to do absolutely fantastic. Funny enough, I don't even have tickets yet, but I will see it. Don't worry. I will see it opening night. Leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have an incredible day.